Hey there, Virgo. I am doing a reading for you. These are timeless readings for really whoever finds it, but I am titling it a Virgo reading, thinking of it from that perspective. So thanks for joining me. Let's see what's going on.
You've been feeling it, haven't you? That pull, that heaviness, that sense that someone's energy is reaching towards you even when they're not physically present. Maybe it's been showing up in your dreams or in those moments right before sleep when your mind finally quiets and you can feel something. Someone's been sitting with feelings they haven't expressed, feelings they might be trying to drown out or numb or ignore, and you're picking up on it because the connection between you is real. Stay with me because what's coming through about this energy might explain exactly why you haven't been able to shake this feeling, why their presence lingers in your field even when you're alone. Let me tell you what I'm sensing in the energy right now. The first thing that's coming through is this frequency of unexpressed emotion. You might be experiencing moments where you suddenly feel sad or heavy or restless, and you can't quite trace it back to anything in your own life. That's because you're not just carrying your own emotional field right now. You're also receiving transmissions from someone whose feelings about you have become too big to contain. And when people can't or won't speak their truth directly, that energy has to go somewhere. Often, it reaches out through the invisible threads that connect souls. Here's what you might be noticing. There could be times, especially late at night or during vulnerable hours, when you feel their presence so strongly, it's almost like they're in the room with you. You might find yourself thinking about them out of nowhere, feeling their name surface in your mind without invitation. Or perhaps you're experiencing physical sensations, a tightness in your chest, a flutter in your stomach, an inexplicable longing that doesn't seem to belong entirely to you. What I'm picking up on is that this person is in a space of processing. They might be sitting alone with their thoughts, replaying conversations, remembering moments between you, questioning choices they've made. And in that solitude, in that raw emotional space, their guard is down. The walls they usually maintain are thinner. And that's when energy travels most freely. When someone is undefended and feeling deeply, this reflection invites you to consider what you've been feeling in your own body that might not entirely belong to you and what that's revealing about the connection you share. You might be wondering if you're imagining this, if you're projecting your own desires or hopes onto random sensations, but pay attention to the consistency. Pay attention to when these feelings intensify. There's often a pattern. You might notice it more during certain times of day or after periods of silence between you, or when you're in a relaxed state and your intuitive channels are more open. The energy is showing that someone is caught between what they feel and what they're allowing themselves to do about it. There's a gap there, a space between their internal truth and their external action. And that gap creates tension, longing, a kind of emotional pressure. And you are sensitive enough to feel it across whatever distance separates you. What's interesting about this particular energy is the element of vulnerability without expression. This person might be in their feelings, deeply so, but they're experiencing them alone. They might be turned inward, reflecting, possibly using substances or distractions to cope with the intensity of what's surfacing, not because they don't care, but perhaps because they care too much and don't know how to hold that or what to do with it. You might be picking up on regret in this energy, a sense of what if or I should have that's circulating in their emotional field. They could be reviewing the dynamic between you through a different lens now, seeing things they missed before, feeling things they weren't ready to feel when they had the chance to express them directly. And here's where it gets subtle for you. You're not just passively receiving this energy, you're also making choices about what to do with what you're sensing. You could reach out. You could create an opening for communication. You could directly address what you're feeling. Or you could honor the silence, trust your boundaries, and allow this person to process whatever they're processing without inserting yourself into their journey. This reflection invites you to consider what reaching out would serve in you and whether it comes from genuine alignment or from a need to resolve the tension you're feeling. What I'm sensing is that this isn't necessarily about you needing to do anything. Sometimes we feel someone's energy because we're meant to witness it, to acknowledge it, to let it inform our understanding of the dynamic. But we're not obligated to respond to every energetic transmission we receive is less than #0. 5# is greater than, especially when someone hasn't chosen to communicate directly. You might be noticing that your dreams have been more vivid lately, or that this person keeps appearing in them. Dreams are one of the primary ways energy communicates when the conscious channels are blocked. If someone is thinking about you intensely, if they're emotionally activated around you, if they're processing feelings they haven't spoken, that often shows up in your dream space because your subconscious is less defended than your waking mind. The energy around this feels heavy with nostalgia and possibility. This person might be romanticizing what existed between you or imagining what could exist. They might be comparing current situations or connections to what they experienced with you and finding those comparisons lacking. There's a quality of the one that got away in this frequency, even if nothing was ever officially established between you. What's important for you to understand is that someone being in their feelings about you doesn't obligate you to anything. You can acknowledge what you're sensing without making it mean you need to rescue them from their emotional process. You can honor the connection without abandoning your own boundaries or clarity about what serves you. This reflection invites you to consider whether you're using this energetic connection as a way to avoid moving forward in your own life, or whether it's genuinely calling you towards something real. Um, there's also this element of timing coming through. You might be feeling this person's energy so strongly right now because they're at a threshold. Something in their external life might be shifting, ending, or changing in a way that's bringing suppressed feelings to the surface. Transitions have a way of making us confront what we've been avoiding. And this person could be in one of those transitional spaces where everything they've been pushing down is rising up to be felt. What you're experiencing in your own field is real. The heaviness, the knowing, the sense that someone is energetically reaching toward you, that's not imagination. But what matters most is how you choose to relate to it. You can feel it, acknowledge it, and still maintain your center. You can recognize the connection without letting it destabilize you or pull you away from your own path. The energy is also showing that you have your own feelings about this person, conscious or unconscious. You wouldn't be picking up on their frequency so clearly if there wasn't something in you that's still tuned to them. That doesn't mean you need to act on it, but it does mean there's probably some unfinished emotional business on your end too. Some part of you that's still wondering, still hoping, or still processing what this connection means. What I'm sensing is that this period of energetic intensity might be temporary. There are cycles to these things. Someone can be deep in their feelings for a while, and then life moves them forward. Circumstances shift, or they find other ways to process what they're experiencing. The fact that you're feeling it so strongly now doesn't mean it will stay at this intensity forever. So as you navigate this, pay attention to what grounds you. Pay attention to what brings you back to yourself when you notice you're drifting into their energy. Pay attention to whether this connection, even in its current unexpressed form, is adding to your life or complicating it in ways that don't serve your highest good. You might be hoping that what they're feeling will eventually translate into action, into communication, into something tangible and real between you. And it's possible that could happen. But it's also possible that someone can feel deeply and still not choose to bridge the gap. People are complicated. They can want something and simultaneously fear it. They can feel a connection and still prioritize safety or familiarity or whatever else keeps them from taking the risk. This reflection invites you to consider what you're willing to wait for and what you're ready to release so you can move forward unencumbered. The energy you're picking up on is real. Someone is sitting with feelings about you that they haven't fully expressed or processed. They might be alone with those feelings right now, might be using various ways to cope with the intensity, might be caught between wanting to reach out and staying protected behind silence. And you're feeling it because the connection between you allows for that kind of transmission because you're open, sensitive, and still tuned to their frequency. But here's what's essential for you to remember. You are not responsible for someone else's unexpressed emotions. You can witness them energetically without taking them on as your burden to resolve. You can feel compassion for what they might be experiencing without sacrificing your own peace or clarity. You can honor the connection without making it more important than your own well-being. Trust what you're sensing because your intuition is accurate, and also trust yourself to know what to do with that information. Whether that means creating space for communication, maintaining your boundaries, or simply acknowledging the energetic reality without needing to change it, you have the wisdom within you to navigate this in a way that honors both the connection and yourself. Listen to what your body tells you. Listen to what your peace requires. That knowing will guide you forward.